Hello everyone, this is Eagle Al. I just wanted to make a quick little kind of fun video on some long-term emergency food items that are a good ideal, especially for people that are on a budget. Um, a lot of companies have these like 25-year shelf life, freeze-dried foods, and to be honest, some of those companies, because it's their major promotion is on how it's excellent for emergencies. They put a high premium price on it, and people that don't know any better spend a really high price when there are cheaper alternatives that you can go with. So I just want to go over a handful. Obviously, there's a lot more things that you could choose, but this will give you a basic idea. Most of the items I'm going to mention, there's different levels of long term. Most of these items, I'm saying you're probably good for about 2 whole years on average before I would look into it maybe not being good anymore. Okay. One is, I left one in the house, but you know what it is. Okay. Okay. Canned meats. Most canned meats they're already pre-cooked and they're usually rated for about 2 years. So like here I got sardines. Another one, if you like the taste, this is one of the things that people either love it or hate it. This one says luncheon loaf, but it's basically Spam. So it's basically a pressed block of meat. It's high in flavor because it's already kind of salty tasting. Cut a couple of strips in it, put it on a sandwich. You're getting your protein in. You can, depending on where you shop, but you can get these really cheap. And one thing I wanted to mention is if you go to places like Dollar General or the Dollar Tree, surprisingly, you can go to the Dollar Tree and you can get a lot of food items. They're like, well, basically $1. So these here, every time you go to the store, I make it a habit of just buying a few extra items that I don't plan on using, like in the next couple weeks. Like whatever I need, I'll grab like 4 or 5 little $1, $2 items that I'm not going to use, and I tuck them to the side in a place that's designated for emergency food items. So those were a couple of protein items. The thing I left in the house was basically your ramen noodles. If you buy them in the 12-pack box, it's like less than $3. It's like $2.70, and you got 12 packs. So basically 12 bowls, servings of a food that's pretty good in flavor, really cheap. And like I said, that'll at least last 2 or 3 years. Another thing is you got various pasta combinations that already got the flavoring in them. All you're doing is adding water and heating them up. I try, when I'm buying emergency food, to buy item that I would actually eat on any given day when it's not an emergency scenario, because sometimes people get this habit of buying certain stereotypical things that they've heard of, but the flavor is like non-existent and they're like having to tolerate eating it. And when you're in a crisis situation, you want little things that comfort your mind, can really make a big difference in your overall mental attitude, is basically what I'm saying. So get comfort items that you actually will enjoy. Don't just buy buckets and buckets of beans and plain rice and you're like trying to stomach it. So pasta dishes, right? Okay. Another one that I'm big on is different flavored mashed potato meals. There's a bunch of flavors. Anywhere from $1 to $2 for a pack. This was probably 79 cents. Okay. Just add water, heat it up, you're good to go. Another thing that I do is I got the vacuum food saver machine that takes all the air out and makes food last a whole lot longer. So I've got a number of bags of just plain old elbow macaroni, sealed, ready to go. When you're ready to make a dish, one time you can add salsa, another time you can add cream, whatever. It's pretty versatile, okay? All these things I'm mentioning, they're like $1, $2. You're not breaking the bank. This one I think is a really cool item that I really like. It's Earthly Grains. It's called Ready to Serve Rice. Aldi's carries it, but I'm sure some other major brand stores like Meijer and Walmart carry it too. The thing that I really like about this is if you've ever made from scratch rice, you got to boil that water for so long before it's soft enough and it's ready to eat. And then plain rice with no additives on it is just completely flavorless. And it takes a whole lot of effort, a whole lot of energy to make. I mean, energy as far as like the heat source. And depending on the crisis scenario, you might not have an overabundance of energy source. So on these, it's already kind of soft, kind of like a wet texture. All you literally got to do is heat it up. And you don't even have to do that. But basically, I'm talking heat it up a minute and a half in the microwave, and you're ready to go. Great idea. This is a decent option, too, for things that you want to sweeten. Honey doesn't spoil. So 15 years from now, you can take honey out, and it's still good. But I went to, I think it was the Dollar Tree. $1 for their little mini bottles of honey. And just food items, you want to add a little bit of sweetness to it to make it taste better. You got that. Plus, honey has a lot of nutritional benefits that I won't go into detail about now. But like I said, those are some basic examples. And, you know, you could add your own personal taste of that and elaborate on it. I can't think of anything else to say, you know, as far as that line goes. When it gets into spending more money, I really like the MREs a lot. They say officially that it's a 5-year shelf life, but as far as how long it takes before they're actually spoiled, it's a lot longer than 5 years. A lot of people have done tests on MREs and realized you can take them out 10, 12, even 15 years after the date that they were made. And they're not spoiled yet. They're still good to eat. And all of those, that's another item that's like all you got to do is heat it up and you're good to go for comfort. And you don't even really have to heat them up. You can take them right out of the pouch and eat them the way that is. And a lot of the MRE items are actually pretty decent tasting. And but like I said, when you get into MREs, when you get into freeze-dried foods, the price goes up a lot. So I wanted this video to be focused on stuff that you can use on a budget. Anyway, this is Eagle Owl. Thanks for watching. I appreciate all the watches, the likes, subscriptions. I'm trying to make 1 to 2 videos every week. I know I've been on a break for like 3 weeks, but there's a lot more videos to come. Have a good one.